The superconscious mind and the superconscious capability is hidden within yourself. And then I'll show you how you can use it. The following are the characteristics of your superconscious mind. First of all, it has access to all data stored in your subconscious mind. Everything that you have ever learned, everything you've read, experienced in your lifetime has been stored away. And when your superconscious mind is functioning, it can go back into this vast treasure trove library of your mind, and it can pick out information. Any piece of information will just pop out when you're working with your superconscious mind to solve a problem or achieve a goal. The second thing is it can discriminate between valid and invalid data. You may have heard something or learned something that may have not been correct. A date, time, a place, a fact, a figure. But when your superconscious mind is sorting information, it knows exactly what is correct and what is incorrect. It has access to data outside of your experience. It can tap into the universal mind, and all data that's available in the universe is available to your superconscious when you tune into it. Now, with regard to yourself, the way this works is that sometimes you'll have an idea. When you're sitting in this room, and I'll be talking about A, and you'll have an idea about B. Number 3, everyone has at least 4 ideas per year, any one of which would make them a millionaire. So if your goal is to become a millionaire, remember that the superconscious mind is trying to get you ideas to fulfill whatever it is that you want. It's interesting about the superconscious mind in that it is neutral as well. If you think of negative, angry thoughts, then you'll think of negative, angry ways to live, and you'll have negative, angry experiences as well. Mostly, it works when you are clear about something that you want or desire. It'll start to bring you ideas to achieve it. Many times you're walking, driving along, and you'll have an idea for a product or a service or something that you could do that would serve other people. And you say, why doesn't somebody do that? I mean, why doesn't somebody offer that? And the only difference between you and someone else is if someone else took action on it. And then a week or a month or a year later, you're looking around and somebody will come out with that idea and they'll make a fortune. One of the hardest things of all is to trust your own ideas. Listen, the ideas are coming, the ideas are there, and they shoot through your mind. Many people will carry a little notebook. They'll put a notebook by the edge of the bed. They'll stop the car and write it down quickly. Because very often the rule is what you're seeking for is seeking for you. What you want wants you. And so when you decide that you want something, it's time to tune in and get it. Say number 3, once you have programmed a goal, a major goal, and the more detailed you write out the goal, the more the superconscious mind can really get its powers into it. And remember, if you have a thought without an emotion, it has no impact. If you have an emotion without a thought, it has no direction. But if you have a thought of something you want, combined with an emotion of excitement and confidence and happiness that you can achieve it, it's like a powerful bullet, and it activates all your mental powers. Once you program the goal, which you have done by writing it down, it goes to work 24 hours a day. And it's sort of like planting seeds. If you plant grass seed, what will happen is the grass will spring up in a day or two. If you plant a bamboo tree, you water it and you fertilize it, nothing happens. Nothing happens for 3 or 4 or 5 years. In the 5th year, it grows 60 feet into the air. It suddenly germinates and explodes into the air. And sometimes it's the same with a career or a goal or a book. So sometimes some seeds will grow quickly. Some seeds will take longer. What you do is you just have to keep watering and fertilizing with confidence and faith until the seed springs into flower. So it's working 24 hours a day while you're awake, while you're sleeping, while you're busy doing something else. Your superconscious mind is on the job. Number 4, it automatically and continuously solves every problem on the way to achieving your goal. In order for you to achieve something greater than you've ever achieved before, you have to learn certain lessons. You've got to be schooled. You have to make mistakes, have temporary failures, and experience disappointments and setbacks. As I said before, when God wants to send you a gift, He wraps it up in a problem. So what superior people do is they look for the lesson in every problem that they have, and the lesson is often sent to you by your superconscious mind. And so whenever you have a problem, you will often get a solution or an insight to do something and do it. And it'll continually solve every problem progressively. This is all the great inventions. All the great musical concertos were all solved one step at a time, one scientific problem at a time. Number 5, it's capable of goal-oriented motivation. The superconscious mind cannot work without a goal. It's just like an exocet missile. A heat-seeking missile has got to be targeted on something. So when you set a goal, the superconscious mind can really grab onto that goal and go to work for it. and it has the ability to seek out the goal that you're looking for. And that's why it often brings it to you in the most remarkable ways. When you have a goal, what happens is you tap into this form of free energy, almost like taking a plug and plugging it upward into this super conscious mind, and you just bound with energy. And it's the energy of the motivation and the excitement that comes from the goal. You must have clear, specific goals in order to tap into this free energy. Now, number 6, it responds to clear, authoritative commands, what we call positive affirmations. When you say, I await this amount, I achieve this goal, the superconscious mind accepts it as a command. It's passed from your conscious mind through your subconscious mind and into your superconscious. When you make a decision, that wonderful quote that Cam quotes, when you make a decision, nature moves too. All manner of things begin to happen that would not have happened in the absence of the decision. You get phone calls and you get letters and you get emails, and all kinds of things begin to happen immediately after you make a very clear decision, which means that you set a very clear goal. Writing the goal down is very powerful. So make a decision that you're going to do or not do something, and then take the first step. Now, number 7, it grows in capability as it is used and believed in. The more trust you have in your superconscious mind, the faster it works for you, and the more calm and confident you absolutely believe that something will show up, something will be fine. The most amazing thing is that something happens, and the more you practice with it and the more confidence you have, the faster it works for you. It takes a lot of confidence at the beginning, but that's all it takes. It doesn't cost any money. It requires a step of faith, a mental step of faith. Number 8, it operates best with an attitude of confident expectancy. When you confidently expect that your goals will be reached, your problem will be solved, that everything will be well. When you confidently expect it, it just seems to come into reality. The more you believe it, the better and faster it works. Number 9, it operates best under 2 conditions. The first condition is when you are concentrating 100% on the problem, when you're totally focused on the problem. Suddenly, ideas pop out. When you have a goal, you write down every single thing you could think of that would help you to achieve the goal. And the more you write 10, 20, 30 things, the more likely it is for something to suddenly be there. Again, you may have pulled it out from deep in your memory, and suddenly that's the key. That's what will make this work. And the other time is when you are concentrating 0%, when your mind is busy elsewhere. So if you have not been able to solve a goal by focusing on it single-mindedly, then walk away. Number 10, it brings you exactly the solution you require at exactly the right time. Let us say that you think of a goal, and the first thing that pops into your mind is to phone so-and-so and ask him or her about this. Sometimes you'll pick up the phone or call immediately, and they say, I'm going to be in Europe for a month and out of contact. If you had called them an hour later, they'd have already been gone, and you wouldn't have been able to get through to them. Today, of course, you can, with self-launching, get through to anybody. But the point is, when you get the idea, move quickly because it's time-dated, and sometimes it's dated only for a few minutes. All right, now, number 11, it will bring you the experiences you need to be successful. We learn 10 times more from a failure experience than from a success experience. Here is a lesson. If you are going through or you have been through a failure experience, let's say a temporary failure experience, take a piece of paper and write at the top of the page, what have I learned from this experience? You'll be astonished at how much you have learned that if you don't write it down, you won't remember, and you'll have a tendency to repeat. But what happens is when you write down everything you've learned from your negative experience, you program that in, and you'll be astonished at how many lessons you can get from one setback if you look into every experience for a lesson. You'll always find at least one, and sometimes the lesson you'll find will be priceless, and it will change your life forever. But you don't find it if you're not looking for it, so you've got to look for it. Number 12, it makes all of your words and your actions and their effects fit a pattern consistent with your self-concept and your dominant goals. That means that you can be in a conversation and you'll have this impulse to say something and you'll say it, and it'll turn out to be exactly the right thing. Sometimes you'll have an impulse to say something and something will tell you, don't say anything, don't say anything. It'll turn out later that it was very wise that you said nothing. So therefore, trust your intuition. If it tells you to speak, speak. If it tells you not to speak, don't speak. Here's the one key to the principle of serendipity. The only people who find happy things or make happy discoveries are people looking for something. They're looking for happiness. They're looking for success. They're looking for goals. They're looking for something. And as a result, they keep making happy discoveries. In the logical world, things have a cause and effect relationship. In the superconscious world, whether you do this, you get that. In the superconscious mind, things have a synchronicity relationship. Completely unrelated events happen sometimes on the other side of the world that cause you to be successful. So watch for synchronicity, and the more you watch for it, the more it will happen. So number 13, it contains all monitor circuits for pre-programming. That you can actually pre-program your mind, and the way you do it, you remember that your subconscious mind and your superconscious can only respond to positive commands. A monitor circuit only accepts commands that are positive. So you don't say, let me remember not to forget my keys. So what you do is you say, remember to take my keys with me when I leave. Remember to pick this up when I'm on my way home. Remember to do this. And when you say that, your superconscious mind takes it, and exactly at the moment you're walking past that table, it'll tweak it into your mind and you'll get the keys. It's the most amazing darn thing, and you've all had this experience, and you can use it for anything. You can pre-program yourself to call somebody, to stop off to pick something up, to do something, and so on. Now activating the superconscious mind, A. The master method of activation of the superconscious mind is solitude. The way that you do it is, first of all, you go into silence for 30 to 60 minutes. It's called. You don't have radio or television or coffee or cigarettes or newspapers. You just go and sit somewhere perfectly silently for 30 to 60 minutes. Now, the first 25 to 26 minutes of this exercise will be excruciatingly painful. You'll want to get up and go do something and adjust a picture frame and make a phone call. It's almost like you've got ants inside you, because it's so hard to sit absolutely perfectly still, relaxed for 30 minutes. So when you're sitting there for 25 to 30 minutes, about that point, you'll start to go calm, and all the energy, all the fidgetiness will disappear, and you'll just go calm. And after the 30-minute point, what will happen is ideas will start to flow like a river. If you've never done it before, the first time you do it, you'll get a result, you'll get an insight, an idea, a solution to a problem, an idea to solve a goal. The next time you do it, you'll get it again. And every time you sit quietly in solitude for 30 to 60 minutes, you'll get ideas that may save you years of hard work. Whenever you calm your mind and let your mind go completely calm, what happens is superconscious mind function. There's 3 sources of a superconscious solution. The first is intuition. It comes from within. And as we say, the still small voice is sometimes so loud that it drowns out everything. You hear that answer and go, wow, geez, this is it. And you get up and you're excited. Second of all, you'll get it from chance encounters with information and with strangers. Chance encounters, you'll just come across something at random in a newspaper or a magazine that's a piece of information that's priceless. It's the last piece in the jigsaw puzzle. It puts it all together. Once you have a goal, your intuition, your superconscious mind, will be trying to get the answer to you like a person rushing through the crowd, shouting at you as you're getting away. This superconscious mind is trying to get the answer to you. Be alert to unexpected successes and unexpected failures, because often they will contain the germ or an idea that will change your life. So how can you tell a superconscious solution? Number 1, when the answer comes, it will be 100% complete, and it will be simple. It'll be so simple that you think, why didn't I think of that before? It will be within your resources. You won't have to get anybody else's permission or help. It's something that you can do, and you just want. You hit. You're like this, how could I not have thought of that? It will be a blinding flash of the obvious. It'll be so obvious that you'll just be surprised you hadn't thought of it. And 3, it will be accompanied by a burst of energy and joy. Do you see the energy that you need to implement the solution will come with the solution? Sometimes you'll have a superconscious solution in the middle of the night, and you'll wake up with this incredible idea, and you'll be able to sit down and start writing it down, and all the energy you need to write it down. The law of superconscious activity says that any thought, plan, goal, or idea held continuously in the conscious mind must be brought into reality by the superconscious. The more you use it, the more you believe it, the more it will work for you, the more you absolutely trust in it. And pretty soon you'll get onto this beam where you're getting the answers and the intuitive. Always be open to the likelihood that your goal will be achieved in a way completely different from what you had expected. Something completely unusual will happen, and you'll achieve your goal in a way that you never thought of before. When you're completely positive about yourself and your future, and you have very clear written goals, plans, and priorities, you tap into the greatest power in the universe.